call the meeting to order. We're ready to, and if everyone would please pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you everyone for coming. Matt Kelly was just here and hopefully everybody got their questions answered about the appraisals coming up. I'm going to move straight into our guest speaker because he's got another engagement to go to when he leaves us. So Mr. John Kennedy, if you'd like to have the floor.
Yes. I figured if Matt Kelly, our county auditor, was going to be here, it'd be good for the county treasurer to be here as well. I love Matt. Matt's doing a great job kind of getting out in front of all the valuation and assessments and all that, and I know you all heard from him before. You know, Matt and I are going to work together to advocate and lobby on behalf of all you with our state lawmakers, because I know he mentioned this to you when he talked to you. We can only do so much. We have to kind of implement things as they are. So if we want to change things for the better, we got to push our lawmakers in Columbus to stand up and do the right thing. So we are both willing to go to bat for you, and if that means that we go down to Columbus with you, we will do that. Just want to say that. So the big program I want to tout with y'all is our GrowLink program. I handed out the brochure, and the tragedy is that we've got like $3 million in this program. $1 million of new investment that the county commissioners authorized 3 months ago. I would hate to see it just sit there and not be utilized by folks in the community. We've got 3 programs within the GrowLink low interest loan program. These are 1 to 3% below market rate. I know interest rates, they're talking about bringing them down here in September. I wish they would have brought them down a couple months ago. That would have been helpful with mortgage rates and all that. But having said that, you can take out up to $25,000 as a homeowner. Again, 1 to 3% below market. And I know we have a lot of farmers in the community here. If you own a farm, you can take out a loan for up to $50,000. Again, 1 to 3% below market. And get this, if you're a small business or you want to start a business, you can take out $250,000, $250,000, 1 to 3% below market. And you can even use that money for operating costs. So that's really good. So that's that program. The other thing I do is when I go out, I become very fast friends with our friends at the Farmers Bureau. And they know that I've been going to all the townships. You're my 15th out of 18th, I think I've been to. And after this, I'm going to Palmyra to talk to those folks too. The thing that, it's like I said about this loan program, people don't know about it. And with the Farmers Bureau, same kind of deal. Those folks fight really hard to kind of tweak the CAUV program. I think right now you're getting 29% of what you would pay market rate for a farm in terms of property taxes. That's a savings of 70%. And the Farmers Bureau is doing what they can to lobby, to advocate on your behalf, to give you more of a break when it comes to the being a small farmer. Your expenses are big, your profit margins are very, they're not great a lot of times. And so, the state of Ohio, our biggest industry, people forget this, is ag. So let's take care of our farmers. I've got a lot of materials here I'll hand out. They're like little one-pagers on the CAUV program and the breaks that you get because of it. And Matt, I know, was just here. His office administers this program, so please apply. There's an application process that's a one-pager, which I have copies of here. And if you're up for a renewal, I've got the renewal application as well. But you apply for this and renew it through Matt Kelly's office. And I'll give you guys copies of all of that. So the other thing that people forget about in the county is, oh, I turned 65. And I don't see anybody in here who is 65 and older, so I'm talking to the wrong crowd. But for anybody, but if you happen to know somebody who's 65 and older, there's a thing called the homestead exemption. I know Matt was just here, he probably talked about that, but it's like low-hanging fruit. You do have to apply for it, unfortunately. It just doesn't magically happen on your birthday when you turn 65. It's like, oh great, I'm just gonna start taking advantage of this wonderful program. And you gotta meet the household income threshold of 38,600. So if you, I can't tell you the number of township trustee meetings I've been to where somebody in the audience says, I had no idea. And Mr. Kennedy, I'll take that application and I'll fill it out and submit it. So it's life-changing, getting a break on your property taxes on a fixed income. So please just take advantage of the programs that we have. The other thing I'll leave you all with is my business card. I made a mistake of putting my mobile on there.
I see that.
Yeah, so that means you can text me and harass me and call me at any time. That's a good thing. I want to be accessible to you. Any questions for the treasurer? All right. Well, thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming, John.
You're very welcome.
Thanks for coming. Yeah.
Very welcome.
Nice seeing you, Dawn.
Nice seeing you.
And we can have copies of these up here. If anybody needs the information, we'll make sure you can get it. Just reach out.
Yep, and I've got the applications here for, like I said, CAUV.
And we can make more copies if we need to, represent, people can get so.
Okay, there. I won't
Perfect.
overload you guys with more paperwork than you need then.
Okay,
Thank you for having me, guys. Thank you.
thank you.
Right. So moving on to approval of minutes and financials. We can start off with the financials, because I know we are a bit behind on that. If anyone has any questions, concerns, discussion,
I don't.
I do not either. I'll make a motion to accept the financials as they are.
I'll second it.
Yes,
Laura? Yes. Ed?
yes,
Tiffany?
Yes. And then moving on to the July 8th trustee meeting, the budget meeting. It's a very short meeting because it was included on the same date as our other meeting. Any questions, concerns, corrections on the budget hearing meeting?
nope, I make a motion, we accept minutes for a budget meeting.
I will second it.
Yes.
Laura? Yes. Ed?
Yes,
Tiffany?
Yes. And then the July 8th regular meeting, I did have some additions that I had sent to Tracy, but Tracy, I still have a few more. I don't know if you want to go over these one by one, or if you just want me to give you a copy of some of the things that we had missed. There were a few really important conversations that I think just got overlooked.
I'll check it out and I'll let you know.
Well, I have a copy here, I can, just of some of the things that I noted if you wanted to look at that. Any other comments on the July 8th meeting?
I don't.
Okay. And then July 22nd meeting, minutes. I also had some additions to this one too of some things that had gotten missed, and I had made a copy. There were some conversations that I think got overlooked as well. I just put little notes in the margin if you wouldn't mind
Thank you.
having a look. Thank you. It's a lot. There's a lot of stuff in there. Any other comments about the 24th, or the 22nd, I'm sorry?
I don't.
Laura?
No, I'm just a couple of things that I noticed, like Gary, like we know who Gary is, but if someone would look at the minutes and they don't You know, they're not here, just last names. So
So how about if I just put somebody out of the audience? Seeing as how he didn't sign up on the commentary, I'll just put it as somebody made a, right? That's how
Gary
it is.
signed up, but he didn't put his last
He
name.
did sign up.
He did sign up at the last meeting. Just so if anybody's reading the minutes, it is our legal accounting of what happened at the meeting. So this way we know.
Okay.
That's all I have.
Communications.
I have a communication
Okay.
in regards to our Deerfield Circle from Ohio Department of Transportation. First of all, I'd like to thank all the residents that contacted ODOT in regards to all the accidents we've had over the circle. I deal with Rebecca Abel. She is District 4 out of Akron. She's located on Arlington Road. She had a lot of residents contact with concerns about the circle, people not stopping, people wrecking into everything in the circle. We've had a lot of accidents. So since January, I took pictures of all of the accidents and sent them to her because she said the squeaky wheel gets the oil and everyone should call. So she did get a lot of calls. So that being said, they did a study on the circle, and this is the outcome that ODOT came up with. Trustee Lindbergh, thank you for contacting ODOT to share your safety concerns at the traffic circle of US 224 and State Route 214 and State Route 225 in Deerfield Township. A field review confirmed the location and condition of the existing traffic control devices approaching the circle. A majority of the signs are at the end of their useful life. These signs will be replaced and upsized to be more visible to approaching traffic. In addition to these upgraded signs, the arrow assemblies on the far side of the northbound and southbound approaches will be relocated to be directly aligned with approaching traffic. Crash data was obtained from the Department of Public Safety. Since 2019, 5 failure to stop crashes have occurred at the Deerfield Traffic Circle. 2 crashes occurred on the eastbound and southbound approaches, with 1 crash occurring in the northbound direction. All 5 crashes occurred during dark or low light conditions. 3 crashes were contributed to alcohol use. It is important to note all of these crashes occurred over the last 12 months. No failure to stop crashes were identified prior to 2023. Stop signs enhanced with LEDs are recommended when an approach averages 3 or more failure to stop crashes over a 3-year period. As mentioned above, all 5 failure to stop crashes occurred in dark or low light conditions. Although decorative lighting is present within the circle, overhead luminaries may enhance safety and to improve visibility. Ohio Revised Code 515.01 permits the township to install street lighting along the roadway within the township boundary. It's typically accomplished by the township hiring a local electric company to install lighting. The electric company would bill the township. As with any work within the state right-of-way, ODOT would need to issue a permit to the utility company. The new signs are expected to be installed in the next 6 to 8 weeks. At this time, stop signs enhanced with LED flashing lights are not recommended on any of the approaches. Thank you again for interest in highway safety. So that is the result of their study of the crashes at Deerfield Circle.
I think her numbers are off.
Yeah, I think a lot.
The numbers aren't even close to how many actual
There would be a
people we've
few
had
there.
inside our circle.
Like the last one, they just drove through the middle of the night.
Yeah, we've
so
had
some
4 or
of
5
them-
where they drove through and got away.
Right.
They have no idea.
Yeah.
Do they get information from the state patrol? I mean, where
Well,
do they?
I would imagine it would be sent by the sheriff and the OSP.
Yeah, they don't.
I mean, clearly those reports aren't getting to them for whatever reason.
Well,
But if they drive through and they flee.
Well, that I
Yeah,
understand.
then That's
But those
not going
numbers
to
are
get reported.
something that we have sometimes within 6 months. But
So-
once a year,
You know, I asked her, I said, well, how many wrecks do you have to qualify to get flashing stop signs? Like, you have to have 15, 20, you know, what's the number? And she
Better
said,
double your quotes, because
well, she just said that
close.
they take all the data and they do a study.
Yeah.
Right.
And so we're gonna get bigger, regular stop signs. So,
There's nothing that will stop every accident, but if that stops one accident and keeps one person from getting hurt, then it's worth the effort, but it's
so,
so
and
frustrating.
then also at the skating rink intersection, they did put cross traffic does not stop on Alliance Road and T25. That was their big contribution before they
Band-Aid.
end up putting in the roundabout. So that's all I have.
I wanted to give a shout out to, and I might say his name, the name wrong, Kyle Milam, is that his name? So, when we had the big storm, I drove by right after the tree had fallen by the circle and ran home and got my raincoat and came back, and there was a gentleman with a chainsaw cutting the tree out of the road. And I asked him who he was, and he said he was a resident. He was shopping at the Family Dollar store and had a chainsaw in the back of his truck and just came out and started cutting the tree down so people could get through. There were actually people driving the wrong way on the circle just to try to get where they were going because it was rush hour traffic. So I just wanted to thank him and say it's really nice when there's someone who lives in our community that just stops what he's doing and helps. And just a big thank you to him. I think he even offered to go help with some other down trees too. So thanks.
While you're on that, before he even got there, Lake Erie Construction, when I had that shut off, and I think you guys ought to send them a letter and thank them. They opened one lane up for us.
Lake Erie
Because it had been another
Construction.
20 minutes or about half hour before we got anybody there. They were nice enough, I left them in, they cut one lane open so they could get traffic around. I think they ought to be thanked. You ought to go, I'm not sure where they're from, it was Lake Erie Construction, so if you go on Facebook
I'm
or
sure we can find
go on
it.
your computer, you'll
Well,
find
thank
it.
you to Lake Erie Construction for your quick action. That was a bigger accident waiting to happen. Any other communications?
I have none.
Nothing else.
And then we can move on to public commentary.
Okay. First up, we have Brian Telderhouse, public commentary, 3 minutes. Brian, you want to come up and face the crowd because we get a lot of complaints that they can't hear. So I appreciate it. You get 3 minutes and let me set my timer and go.
I'm just doing a public record request for the formal complaint against me, and I'd like to have all evidence that has been presented, given to me, and I also want a copy of the final report from Attorney Beck's office. I had that ready.
Thank you. Thank you.
If you give them the time, you don't want 2 or 3 months, you want it now.
So it's got to be before the 26th.
We will address this as soon as possible.
Yeah.
You done, Brian? Okay. Okay, next
Thank you.
speaker is John Gerst.
Okay, I was at the Columbiana County Fair. One of our business owners got hurt very bad. I want you as the trustees to send them a letter to the Columbiana Fair Board and thank them for their fire department, their EMS, as a volunteer fire department. Lisbon might be a city department, but I think there's still volunteers that I feel if something happened in our township, that we were out and saved somebody else's person from their township, they would be thanked. So They had a thing for him last night at the skate ring. I know some people here that was there. And I just think they ought to be thanked, the Fair Board of Columbiana County, for what they did. As far as I'm concerned, the volunteer fire department, they could have done no better. I seen it happen. I was there when he took him away.
It was Lisbon.
It was
Lisbon
yeah,
Fire?
Lisbon, Columbiana County Fair.
Okay. Okay. Anyone else? Okay.
All right, moving on to department updates. We'll do the road department.
For roads, we've been, did a little bit of ditching, down on Watson Road. Still got one culvert plate to replace down there, prior to, any, prep for, chip and seal work on that road. We've been working on getting a couple other roads prepped and, with asphalt before that happens as well. With that, I'd like to ask for an additional, 12 loads of asphalt. We got a little bit behind from last season. There was only one move that got spread last year. So there's some pretty bad areas out there that just need to be built up prior to any chip work being done.
I think we had 12 or 14 or 15 loads approved last year.
15.
We used one.
Correct.
So I would probably make a new motion to get additional this year, since the motion is a year old, probably still good, but
Right.
I'll make a motion that we provided a minimum of 12 additional loads of road patch material, asphalt. for
How
the
much
road
is the
department.
load about?
We're running 10 tons, so I don't know the exact number on cost personally. I would guess around $100 a ton.
Oh,
So.
yeah, I'll second that.
You got a yes at Laura?
Yes.
Okay, yes for roll call. Laura?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes,
Tiffany?
Yes.
And then, in addition, other than the roads itself, as to the road department, we have an update on our salt shed, for the rebuild of that. Ed spoke with the company, I believe, discussed,
this morning.
Yeah, delivering the new, all the material for the new, hoop shed it'll be delivered on the 19th.
The week of the 19th. Week of the 19th to the builder, and he said within a week or two after that, he will be out to replace our whole entire roof structure there. So that's good news right there. We've been waiting for that.
Yes. And then, we had an insurance agent stop in from retirement, just to do a quick walkthrough and make sure we were up to par on everything. He is requesting that we update our plastic safety cans, gas cans, to steel ones or metal ones. So we do have a couple of gas on hand right now, but our diesel one will need to be swapped. Our small 2.5 gallon for the weed eater gas will need to be switched over. So we'll need to just purchase maybe 3 cans, so 2 5-gallon cans and 1 2.5 gallon.
That'll be enough.
That should be it. Because we have 3.
From the base account? Do you
Yeah.
have another idea where you'd like?
So we can order them straight to the store. They don't have them on hand. But yes,
Oh, okay.
we can do that. Yes.
If that's more convenient.
Yes. And then they also requested, which I believe we probably have a piece of plate laying around. If not, we can get one from the local fab shop. We do have a welded piece of plate that's 18-inch by 5 foot between the 2 tanks, the oxygen and settling tank on the car. So while they're on the car, don't have to use, it's just a spark arrestor plate. So it'll be a piece of 8-inch plate, 18 by 60 inch.
Tim told me that, and I said, let's just buy a new cart that's really, really old. Well, a new cart like that with a divider, it was $1,400,
Yes.
something like that. So we're gonna weld a plate in there between the two of them for probably $100. They're in that area, so.
So on as far as the roads go, that's all I have on that for now.
The fuel tank for the F-350 that's been being worked on is done. It's at Gas Tank Ridge, it's called, over in Akron. A guy called today, it's ready for pickup, the price is $85. He does not accept credit cards, so I'll go pick it up tomorrow, and I'll either pay him cash or a check, and I'll ask that township reimburse me for that $85 for the repair on the tank for the truck.
Anything else for the road department?
Yes. The county engineer put out a road bids for paving of Viewtown Road and Bandy Road. 6 people requested the bid package, only 2 turned in a bid. We thought we were gonna get 3, the last one said he's too busy, he can't do it. So we need to open these bids tonight at a public meeting. The lesser of the 2 bids, the least amount, is the one we probably should accept. The county engineer will then go over with them to make sure all of their requirements are in there that they stated before it is final. So I'll make a motion that we do go ahead and look these over, pick out the one that the lowest bid for this, approve them pending the county engineer approval after that.
Because the lowest bid would be a safe bid since it all has to be approved through them anyway. So
Right.
it's not like one would be inadequate.
There's 2 of them, if you guys want to open them up. They're still steel, they haven't been opened yet.
There's no nice way to open this.
No, they're-
So you take the,
Yeah, it should be a book in each of them, I don't know, there should be a place for the dollar amount of what it's gonna cost.
Right there.
Well, that's the,
Engineers.
that's the whole engineers. Wonderful, now we gotta find it. Proposal page 7. Okay, I do have one, do you have one right there? All right, this is from, I need that to see who it's from. This is from Phillips Paving LLC, Monroe, Chagrin Falls, Ohio. The county engineer they have done work for the county engineer before. They will accept this bid. This is coming in here at, the dollar amount that they're stating is $295,185. And they did specify how they came to that amount right there, which means a lot more to the county engineer than it does us. We just need to know that everything's being done and what we're going to have to pay. Our part of this is 50%. So that's from Phillips Paving, $295,185 for the Bandy Road project.
the second bid came from Barbicus Construction Company, 124 Darrow Road, Suite 1, Akron, Ohio, 44305. Theirs came in at $331,576. And it also has an itemized breakdown.
So based on just that number right there, the bid package was prepared. Those guys have to follow that. The county engineer will look everything over here, make sure it's everything they require. I'll make the motion that we accept Phillips Paving Company contract for the Bandy Road, Viewtown Road paving project, subject to the county engineer's approval.
I second.
So excuse me, yes.
Laura?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes?
Yes.
And we'll give these to the fiscal officer to keep until we...
And if there's anything wrong with this bid, can we automatically default to the other bid?
Yes. Yes, I'm pretty sure they're going to be correct though, because
Sure.
they've
We
all
went
went...
to a lot of trouble to do all that.
Yes, that's a big project going back, so...
We take them up to Mike tomorrow, is that what he said?
Yeah.
And just, I know everyone has heard this who's been watching, but we're getting 50% of that paid for with the grant, so it's a great deal.
Better than what we thought the original was. They shot, what, $381,000, so we came in quite a bit under that, so.
Awesome.
That's all I have for the road department.
I had sent an email about the liability for the volunteer for Chase truck. Did you see that? I sent it on the 1st. Just some housekeeping about checking to make sure that John is fully insured if something were to happen and to get an attestation from him. I forwarded this to you on the 1st. Did you see it?
I missed it. I did
Oh,
not
okay.
see it. I did not see it.
It's, yeah.
Everything's okay then, though,
Well-
or Brett has not responded?
No, he did respond. This, he's saying we just have to get an attestation and make sure that, check with our insurance to make sure he would be specifically covered as a volunteer. So just some housekeeping on that. But I sent it to you, but this is a copy if you want to have a look
Can I
at
have
it.
that?
You can have it. I sent it for you. All right. And anything else on the road department?
I have nothing.
Okay. Buildings and grounds, falling trees. What else do we have?
Falling trees.
Falling trees.
Yeah, other than tree cleanup, we've made some calls today to see about getting a bid to reseal this parking lot, have it restriped again before winter hits. There's quite a few cracks in it, so, to get the longevity out of it, I know it seems like a lot of added cost per year, but I think over the course of the 20 or 30 year span, it'll save a lot on just resurfacing it.
Didn't we do that last year?
Yes, we did.
It'll be an every year thing, because I thought last year we were thinking every other year, but maybe I don't remember.
We had some cracks appear over the summer and everything from people driving out and everything, and we're afraid if we don't get it sealed again this year, those cracks are gonna get water in us. That's why we're kind of suggesting we should get some prices, bring it up to next meeting. If we can afford it, we probably should do it.
Well, if a little bit up front keeps it for longer, then that makes sense.
Yes.
I think in the long run, we'll probably save several $1,000s on a complete research.
So you want to bring us maybe some quotes?
Yeah, we'll get some quotes for the next meeting, yeah.
Yep.
We did well with the last one.
Yes.
Yes.
And the guy that did has been contacted, but he hasn't got back to us yet, so.
Okay. Any updates with the gazebo or the monument?
Yes, I've been on the phone extensively with our insurance carrier. Told them they got to do something. We're getting stalled. The adjuster out of Alabama sent me an email, which is what sent me off. That I sent him an email originally that we'd send in a price quote from an architect that was paying the amount we were going to pay to get blueprints drawn up for that and requested payment on that, along with engineering reports that we haven't got paid on yet. He sent me an email back stating that I don't understand why you have to have blueprints to build a gazebo when it was on over there. Well, that pretty much set me off. We're in Portage County, Deerfield, Ohio. I am working very closely with the Portage County engineer, doing exactly what the man says we have to do. So I still have the email if everyone wants to see it. He doesn't understand why we have to have blueprints. Number one, you gotta have blueprints. Two, you can't get a permit without blueprints. It's a commercial thing. So I shot a couple emails and phone calls off to Columbus. The actual head of the claims division down there sent me an email today saying give him another couple days. He's asking for that. I've got a verbal approval to move forward with the monument, the cement around the monument and the fence. I've got a verbal on that to go ahead
Because
and
we
move.
already approved that quite a while back.
But then that adjuster was no longer with them, so they assigned another adjuster to that, and he said, BS, basically, I'm not paying that much to get that done. So that's where we're at, but I've got a verbal for them that we should be able to move forward with that pretty quickly, once I get it confirmed that we can. Part of the problem was the concrete work, the original concrete didn't have the correct footer under it and everything. When something's damaged and you do it, you have to bring it up to today's codes to do it. We can't do it. That's what the problem was. He said, well, you don't have the proper footer there now, I'm not paying for it. Well, we have to have the proper footer. It has to come up to today's standards. So insurance people agreed with it. I said that verbally. They said, they sent it to me as soon as I get a confirmation, we'll move forward with getting that done. We've already got the bids. I assume the concrete people and the fence people are still interested in doing it. Both of them have tried contacting the adjuster in Alabama with no luck. So I'm waiting for a phone call from Alabama. This was from what, last Thursday, Wednesday or Thursday, like this happened. And I haven't got a phone call from him yet, so I'm sure he's probably upset. But we are moving forward. I think things are going to move forward. The head of the claims department for Retirement Insurance is involved now, and he's not a happy camper that this has been going on this long. So that's where that's at now.
Is there anything that Laura and I can do to help move things along?
As soon as he says we can do it, the blueprints are just about ready. The blueprints will have to be turned over to the building department for approval, which takes 2 to 4 weeks to get it done. After that, we can get bids to build it.
Well, if there's anything that we can do, just,
I appreciate that. I'll let you know. So that's where we're at now.
decorating the gazebo when it's broken is just not the same for Christmas.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
It's very sad.
At a recent meeting, our last meeting, we talked about getting some bids for the tree work at the cemetery. With all these storms, probably prudent that we move forward with that. Have we?
I have not met with anybody down there. I don't know if you guys have.
No, because I even gave a shout out if anybody knew anyone who wanted to put in a bid for that, but I know we've used the Raylands before, so.
And he came up to the circle, was gonna help us out that night, getting it open and everything, but Tim was there, and that one new name, already cutting it off, and I could showed up with my skid steer. We got stuff pushed out of the way, and he came up and said, I don't really want to cut this up tonight, we got the road open.
Right.
Let's talk about it. So anyway, then MoDOT did that, so, but I would like to have him give us a bid on.
Absolutely.
I know, Laura, you got his contact number. Do you want to call him and ask him if he can come out and have a look at it?
When he was up there, I talked to him and told him what we wanted done. He said, yeah, I'll come and do that, just give me a call.
Does
So
he have a good idea of exactly what needs done?
I'll meet with him down there and show
Oh, okay.
him. I want all the dead wood cut out of the trees in
So does it
Deerfield
fall on-
Cemetery.
What about Hartsel? Does anybody?
There are some stuff we probably should take it down to Hartsel and get separate bids. Deerfield has got some good healthy trees. We cut a bunch of trees down that were unhealthy, but there's some dead wood in the trees there. That's a good example up there, that big old tree came down up there during the windstorm. If someone would be in there and limit them down, there's a lot of liability. So I don't think we need any taken down in Deerfield,
Just
but we do
trims.
need some dead wood cut
Getting
out
cleaned up.
and long limbs hanging, and the same thing at Hartsel. So if you guys are okay with
Yeah.
getting a bid from him, he lives in the township, he gives us good prices.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. All that storm got me thinking about that.
Yep.
We gotta get that cleaned
All
up.
right.
Cameras in Deerfield Cemetery.
We did not put them up yet. We're having a hard time figuring out where we're gonna put them.
Okay.
They're a limited vision, and when you put a game camera up, it's gonna see this right here. It's not gonna see this, it's not gonna see this, it's not gonna see anything goes on around it. And I don't know where we're gonna put it in Deerfield. It's all open in the front of it.
So if even if it's, I mean, if it was put inside the buildings, but you might see a snap of what they look like when they open the door, but if they don't take it, you know, so you can't put it too high because you're not gonna.
That's what we wanted to talk about before we put them up.
I mean, if we're getting the entrances and exits, then we're going to see what vehicles are coming and going, so we can narrow it down if there was damage. I mean, there's no way that we're going to be able to see every inch of that cemetery.
No, but unfortunately, the game camera's limitations are that we're gonna hang it somewhere with a strap or whatever they're gonna do. They're gonna see it, hey, that's a nice camera. They're gonna pick it up and take it with them when they go.
And, but
They are, I mean,
but they
that's what
have
it is.
digital, so they can be
We think they're digital. I can
digital,
check
so
that
you
out.
can, they might take it, but then we'll see who took it. So then, then we can press charges.
Okay, we put them up high enough so that they're not quite as accessible and just aim them down so they just can't reach and grab them.
We can try. I don't know how good their picture is from high and at an angle. So if you know, Tim, I don't know.
No, most of the regular game cameras just designed just for the graph straight out.
Yeah, most of them are
You
game
can get a
height.
little bit higher.
Yeah, 4 or 5 foot tall, and we can try. We're having a hard time coming up with a good place to put them where they
Is
won't be
that
stolen.
the cameras, or what do you call them?
Game cameras, like you put out in the woods for deer and stuff.
On the poles for the side, the siren. You Put them up there, ain't nobody gonna
Yeah,
follow
but
them.
up there, they're not gonna get anything either. It's not like these cameras here that see everything.
Right.
This is straightforward, it
Has to
doesn't
get
move.
motion in front
Yeah,
of
it's
it.
gotta get motion in front of
Well, they won't
it.
stay out front long, let's put it that way.
We'll get them put up somewhere and try them, but we're having a hard time getting a good spot to do it. You go down to Deerfield, Deerfield, and look out front, there's nothing there, it's wide open. No trees or anything, so we'll figure something out and get them up. We haven't yet for that reason, so.
Anything else for buildings and grounds?
Yes, we're gonna need a load of topsoil. I'd like approval to get that. We normally just let the guys get it because that comes in well under $500. So we're gonna need that. We need some up at the quadrant up there where that tree came down and did quite a bit of sod damage. So we're gonna need some more at the cemeteries later on.
Yeah, top of the roof.
Top some more graves off. That's not a big expense getting that. And we also need a pallet of water softener salt to split between this and the garage. We normally only buy about 1 pallet a year, and we've put everything in we have down there and up here, so we got to get one relatively quick. I think that probably comes in over, that come in over $500 now? No, that's still coming in under 500. But I'll make a motion that we buy a pallet of Iron Out water softener salt for use at the township garage and here.
I'll second that.
Yes.
Lauren?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes,
Tiffany?
Yes.
now we either get that at Marlboro or Pettigrew's Hardware up here, wherever we can get a good prices where we can get it, so.
Sure. Do we need a motion for the topsoil, or are we good? It's not a very.
That's not a,
Probably do the other 5.
yeah, that's just kind of maintenance items that we need to keep.
I agree.
I have nothing else in buildings and grounds or anything.
Okay. All right, then moving on to the fire department. Chief Dean could not be here today. He did give us a report. Do you want to read it?
You want to do it? You
I-
can.
I'll do it as the best I can. So for the month, we've had 40 calls, 29 medical, 3 fire, 5 service calls, 2 MBAs, 1 water call, which brings his total to date to 235. New business, door alarm broke at station. Tim found an exact one for around $50 to replace.
Let's just get it. We don't even need a motion for that.
Go ahead and get that. That's great, thank you. Old business, engine tarp has been made and on engine 14.
Along with that, I have the bill for that to give to the fiscal officer. $450 for that. We approved up to around, I think it was about $1,000 we approved for that because we didn't know what it was going to cost. So
I don't remember.
Berlin Boat Covers did it right down here, and it is on and in use. I'd like to give that to the fiscal officer to pay.
It's hard to see. All right, and we have a retirement letter from Marvin Claire, which he had provided. Would like to have a retirement party for them. Claire has over 40 years in the fire service. We'll bring it up in the next association meeting as well. Yeah, thank you, Barb and Claire. 40 years is amazing. Typically, we do contribute to a party. Maybe we should wait to see what the association wants to do and see what we can contribute to that. Yeah, so we'll bring that up in the next meeting. And apparatus, we had an emergency repair on tanker 14, had new batteries.
We needed new batteries. One of the batteries was totally dead, and the truck wasn't starting it. You charge them up and take it out and drive it, and what, a few hours later, or next day?
Not even if you
Not
just
even then,
turn
or
the key on and run anything for less than 5 minutes. Yeah, it was dead.
So they called me and Scott, and we said, no, we gotta have that, go ahead and get the batteries. So I'll make a motion that where did batteries come from?
Houston's Auto Parts.
I'll make a motion, we pay Easton's Auto Parts for those batteries when we get the bill.
I second it.
Yes,
Lauren?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes,
Tiffany?
yes. Squad 14 is pulling again, needs to go to Fairway 4 for repairs. It hasn't even been a year, has it?
So it's just floating, whether it's in the suspension or in the links, but it's it's floating pretty hard, out of nowhere, so.
We've had several people drive it out. Every one of them says there's absolutely something wrong with it. We had all kinds of front end repair work done on it, tires, ball joints, everything that people's told us needed done. We still have several different people telling us what's wrong with it. Tim called Fairway Ford, the head of the service department today. They hired a new heavy-duty truck mechanic down there. They have the alignment machine that can do the alignment this needs. Thinking could be the stabilizer struts, since that's an air ride system. I was with Tim when he called that guy, and I told, from Fairway Ford, they said they can do it. My comment was, we don't want you just throwing a bunch of parts on, telling us it's done, come and get it, find out it's not done. So that's the way, we haven't taken it yet, that's why we're bringing it up at the meeting tonight. If you guys have a different idea, I'm looking for ideas, but we've been everywhere, had all kinds of work done on it. It is not good right now. Something needs done.
And none of that's still under warranty, those repairs?
If it would be some of the stuff that they already did is wrong, again, some of it probably is, but we're thinking this is something totally different to that. But we won't know until February 4th. Todd, you got?
So, I've drove that a lot, and it feels like you're floating when you drive. So, somebody that's experienced would probably follow, you get one of these new kids in there, you don't want to kill someone. I've put it out of service twice. I hold a CDL, so I have the obligation to do that.
I think we need,
And something is wrong. It feels like it's.
Is the front foot? The back is.
Back.
It feels like it's heavy in the back, laying in the front, so you're not gripping all the way in the front, but they said they've added weight for that thing. You gotta chase it.
Tim's, what do you say? It feels like you're crab walking going down the road? So, it is out of service. We need to keep it out of service till it's done.
I've said that for the last year and a half. If you're going down the road, back in, it's going like this.
So other than Fairway Ford, I'm looking for suggestions. They said they can diagnose it and they will fix it.
Todd, when you had it fixed before, was there an improvement, or is this just a progressively getting worse kind of problem?
From day one, 5 years, it's been like.
Because we have repairs done on it.
Right. We've had stuff done to it, new tires, alignment.
Does it fix it for a short time, or it's just still never been right?
It's been,
Well, that's the beauty of having a second ambulance, is we can get those things fixed and it's not an emergency.
people just look at it and they say, oh, somebody came in and screwed nothing wrong with it. They don't drive that thing on a daily basis. And if it's gonna take for us to hit somebody or kill somebody,
Either
we're gonna be
way,
sitting here having a
that's,
conversation.
in either way, if the beat
You have your hand.
has over 100,000 miles on it, it's falling apart. We keep fixing it, we're wasting more money on it.
But exactly what you said, in previous times, we've only had one swap. So we've always pushed to get it fixed.
Push to get it fixed right away.
Because we have to service our community. The beauty of it now is we have that secondary swap, so we need to do something about it and do it right.
And before he goes anywhere, everything that RJ said yesterday, I want on a list. All those U-joints have never been greased, there's no way to grease them, there's over 100,000 on it. There's the carrier bearings, he went under and moved the carrier bearings at least 3 inches.
Yeah, we think the carrier bearings all also.
So before that leaves, it goes over there.
You can only patch things so much before that truck will
Look
eventually be
at how much
replaced.
you
I
spend,
believe that.
and how much.
Just put the motor in.
Different diamonds for what? I mean,
Unfortunately, we would have spent $15,000, $18,000 getting the motor put out less than a year ago. And we talked about then, is it worth doing it, and everybody kind of thought it was worth putting the motor in.
that's not how that went. The people who wanted it thought that would be best, but that was not, there were way more people against it than were for it.
Should have never been
But
put in.
yeah, we never said we were for it.
You got something with 70, 80,000 miles, and I said the motor would last the trout, the squad it has. Now everything else is falling apart with the motor.
Nothing lasts forever. Eventually it will need to be replaced. I think we need to
That's
start.
sure.
I appreciate those
But-
comments. We'll need to look at that a little more closely.
Before it goes over the fairway, there needs to be a list about everything I just said. The front shocks have never been replaced on it. The back shocks have never been replaced on it. 100,000 miles. But I think all that stuff needs to be wrote down and handed to them, and we don't want it back until it's fixed.
Who would be the best person to make that list? Who's the most knowledgeable on the mechanics of that?
That's the one right there.
Probably Tim,
You
Todd,
can make a list?
Todd and Hook, before we take it
from the
tonight,
fire department, you know, those people are the ones that are up on it. So,
Todd can take it over, drop it off, lock it up, throw the key in throw the key in the,
Can you get together with Todd and come up with an exhaustive list to make sure we get that all looked at? And a new ambulance, I think, can run, what, $350,000? It's a lot of money, but we certainly,
But you don't have to buy a new either.
you can't buy
I
it.
There's other ways around
it.
that. And I'm not saying you have to, but I'm not driving, look, I'm not being mean to anybody here, but I'm not driving that because of my license makes my money.
Sure.
I'm not risking my job.
I wasn't aware that it was that bad, so I'm glad you guys are bringing that up, and we need to come up with a resolution one way or another, so I want people to feel
Yeah,
safe driving and
anything
be
off
safe
right
driving.
Well, if I have a lady or a gentleman in the back and I have a heart attack, I don't want to be sliding all over the road chasing this thing. They're going
Absolutely.
70 going.
I know we had done repairs, and I guess I wasn't aware that it wasn't better off for those repairs, so. Yeah, I'm, definitely need to have a look at that, so we can start off with getting some quotes. Have them.
Who did the work last time? Like the alignment and stuff, who did it?
we had that big truck shop over in Youngstown. The commercial truck and trailer had it in, did the ball joints in it, did the alignment, did some other stuff. Congratulate Milton's done some work on the K&D trucking, got the air system working on it again. There's somebody's missing.
It's made its rounds.
Above and beyond what we've checked in that area, something else is going on.
Well, let's start having a look at what it would take to fix that one versus some options for replacement down the road. I mean, I know we can't do it today, but we can definitely start spending some time considering that.
Sounds good.
All right, members, we have an application for a junior fireman. Lucas is recommended. Is Lucas here?
Is Lucas
He's
here?
right here.
Hi, Lucas, I'm gonna put you in the hot seat. Can you come up and introduce yourself?
Yeah, tell us about.
You can put out fires, you can come talk to all of us. Tell us who you are and a little bit about yourself and why you want to join the department.
I'm Lucas, I'm 15. I want to help. I think it's better to help people, and yeah.
So you want to
Where do you go to
where do you go to
school?
school?
Western Reserve.
Okay. Any experience at 15? You're here for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's better to help people. That's why I'm doing
Wonderful.
Who's your brother?
it. Zach.
He looks so proud of
Wait,
that.
he's not
What
proud.
does that
Hmm?
do? What does that do?
Fights fires.
He lives in Stratford.
Yes. All right. Well, it's really nice to meet you. Thank you for your interest in
Thank
the
you.
department.
See, he did good.
As a cadet, have we had cadets in recent years? It's been a long
Not
time.
recently.
We've talked about it, when Brian was chief, we almost had him, not.
So, I mean, I'd imagine we have to be very selective on when he's working, so there's someone to stay with him and all
And
of.
there's different rules and we're actually doing SOPs for cadets.
Yes, that's what I was just gonna ask, because you're on the committee for the SOPs.
So he can't come to a call by himself, he's gonna have to be with a senior firefighter at all times, no matter what. Mostly the officers. We are in charge of him, so if we go somewhere, he can't do anything unless somebody tells him or directs him. Atwater has a few, and we've worked with our probationary members. I would send them with Atwater's guys, or girls, whatever, until they felt comfortable. So, yes, I have experience with this, so.
I'm all for it. I do think we need to get a policy in place as soon as possible. I would say even before he really does shifts, that way everyone understands the rules, and we would probably need to check into the liability of that, if he would be covered.
Absolutely.
So, I would very much say I'm very for it, but I think we would just need to iron out a few details first, if that sounds fair.
I think it sounds fair, and I'm very happy that he actually wants to do this. That's great. That's great.
And taken after your big brother. So, we have another meeting in a few weeks. Is it possible that we could get a SOP for that before then? Thank you, I think that sounds great. Let's figure it out.
Thank you.
Could be at home playing video games, so it's better use of your time. Equipment, could we order some ink for fax machine at station? Yes?
Yes, we can, and he gave me a copy of what the cartridge number, what we need is, so.
Sure. Yep. Does he know where to order it from, or do we have a plan of, we're just Staples?
Probably Staples.
Nancy's going with this. Does that give you information?
822 XL is the cartridge number.
822.
Yeah, right there on the side, that's the cartridge number we need.
It looks like it's just the black ink. We should probably get extras of all of these, that way they can have them on hand. We keep trying.
We keep trying to keep them on hand.
Do they have like a subscribe thing where you can keep getting them delivered? I don't know.
We'll get it.
Yes.
Might be in.
And then, so yes, we'll get some ink for that. Education, Kaylee has been accepted into medic school. Would like to use grant money for payment. First payment would be $2,200. The total class would be $6,000. Waiting on total bill, books would be $449. At the last meeting, we had discussed a form to fill out to apply for this, but it was just at the last meeting, so I assume we don't, unless this is what it is.
I don't know.
Oh, no, this is from the Cleveland Clinic Paramedic Program. She works a lot of hours for us.
We have grant money to pay for it. I think she's very capable of going to that school and passing. I would be more than happy to give her that opportunity. No.
No, she's working.
Oh, she's working right now. So I think the books can go under a different part of the grant money that we got. And we can do the FEMA grant for this, I would imagine.
I think that's what he's talking about.
I'm all for it.
I'll make a motion that we allow Kaylee Uphold to enroll in the upcoming class.
I'll second that.
Yes.
Laura? Yes. Ed?
Yes.
Tiffany?
Yes. And that's all that Scott had for the fire department.
I have one more question. If you don't mind. I actually, Scott was supposed to do this tonight. I wanted to, I don't know if the fire officer wanted to. And see if you guys would pay for it. I have all the information. Scott has it actually, $800 or $850 for everything.
And that's for you. When does the class start? So could you bring us that information at the next meeting? Right. I'm all for it.
Go ahead.
I have one more request for the fire department. Since Timmy said that due to the insurance for the township, we have to change out all the gas cans from plastic to metal. Can we get new gas cans at the station from plastic to metal as well?
If they say yes, order.
I think that'd be the time to do it.
Can someone explain to me why the metal is safer than the plastic? Is that just static or?
They don't puncture.
They don't swell.
Give it 15 years, it'll be plastic.
Depends on what study supports the
No,
same thing now, right?
We had little cans when we were kids, that had everything had to be plastic. I don't know if I can-
Because they rust after a while.
Yep.
very good. Well, Todd, can I pick on you for a little bit? Any updates on the SOP committee?
Yeah, we met last Thursday, Monday, Thursday, last Monday, and we come up with a few solutions. We're putting those into play. We should have something there. We should have something in the next couple of weeks. I'll run draft and some of the stuff we have.
Okay. And I do know that there were some people who were really passionate about it, that were on the committee. I just want to make sure that everyone has the opportunity to submit, like, if they have any suggestions.
So you guys are aware, I don't know if you understand, but SOPs are standard operating procedures for the fire department. That has nothing to do with time. That has nothing to do with your attendance. That needs to be in a separate, either employee handbook, SOGs, whatever, but SOPs are for what happens at the firehouse, what happens on the fire line. It has some stuff about uniforms and stuff, but the attendance stuff, I don't know if it's gonna be in there, just because it doesn't belong in there, and it's not.
But as of right now, it is all one.
It is.
Yeah.
It is, but if you're gonna do it, or we're gonna do it right, that doesn't belong in there, that's something for the station and you guys, so that should be, really, we should have an employee handbook if we don't. And that should contain all your sexual harassment stuff, your attendance policies, what you should wear, what you shouldn't wear, parties.
Because right now,
all
it's a
that stuff.
policy procedure.
Right, it's just like a handbook we get if you got hired somewhere.
Right.
We should have one, we don't. It does not belong in your SOP. That's strictly for the fire department, and what you do on the fire ground, what you respond in, what you don't respond in, how you talk on the radio, what we expect you to do as a firefighter, not, I have to babysit you to come to work. I mean, at the end of the day, we're all adults, you should figure this out anyway, but for people that we have to hold their hand, and that needs to be in a separate.
Well, I'm sure you guys will come up with some ideas of how.
Right, no, I think
to
you had some really good ideas, and it made, just the one meeting made more progress than we've had in a while, so.
Oh, that's good. I just wanted to bring up just that everybody had an opportunity to be heard.
Yes, and I've asked everybody who has input to tell me, and I take it to the board.
I mean, it doesn't mean we have to do everything everybody suggests, but just so everybody can be heard and we can consider what they're asking. Thank you for that. And I know at the last meeting, we talked about hopefully getting a link to that where it can be
At the end.
real-time accessible.
At the end, what I think we're gonna do is everybody will get a hard copy, and everybody will get one sent to their email, and that's where it'll be. You keep it on your phone, you keep it on your desktop, whatever. And it should be on our website.
Well, I was thinking on the website because, you know, as time progresses, you may have to update something else or add something, so it's always in real time.
I understand.
Yeah, okay. Thank you for that update, appreciate that. At the last meeting, we talked about getting a pulse ox. I actually got 4 pulse ox machines for like $60 and change and dropped them off. Have those been working okay to everybody's? Yes. So, those are there. I got them there like 2 days later, so hopefully that's serving its purpose. Anything else for the fire department? Anything? All right, old business. Just a reminder, speaking of the fire department and all the employees, the fraud training from the Ohio auditor takes 7-8 minutes. We have to get it done by the end of September. So if anyone hasn't done it, please take a picture of the QR code. It's just a few questions, and it is a state requirement. Any other old business? Okay, new business. Any new business?
I don't have any.
No. I do have an inquiry. I got a message today saying that someone has tried to make a Freedom of Information Act request, but they weren't getting it. They were referred back to me. Do you know anything about that?
We didn't see any of that. We had so many requests come across our desk that I have no clue what you're even, when did they put that in?
I got the message today.
Oh, so they,
But they said they called and were told, they sent an email that they called and were told that I had the only copy and they had.
oh, that was Wendy, and yes, we don't have a copy of that.
Okay, that actually, I'm not the holder of that. That went to Scott D through his email. He brought it to us, so you'll have to get with Scott to get that original.
We'll have to let Wendy know that.
All right.
Because I sent you, I forwarded the email to you, because we were told you were the only one. That's before my time.
No, that was
So,
actually,
yeah.
she sent that directly to the chief, so
Yeah.
we'll have to get that from him.
Okay.
If we don't have it on file.
No, because it was done in executive session, so anything done in executive session, we have not, no,
We should probably make sure that none of that is restricted with the sunshine law rules.
Apparently, Brent,
I did talk to the prosecutor about that. He said that it's been out and talked about. It's gonna be a public meeting. He said at this point in time, that is public record.
I figured, I just wanted to
Yeah,
make sure
he-
we're covering our
he
bases.
did
Brent did give us permission.
Yeah.
That's why we forwarded it to you, because, yeah.
No, that went straight to Scott, so check with him, and if not, I can probably dig through old records and see what I can find, but it should be, and I know it was emailed to him.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other new business?
I don't, it's only question, is Scott permitted to give that out? Does that have to come from one of us, or, I don't know.
Well, it went to him, so I don't, he's
Yeah,
the one who received it and brought it to us in executive session, so he's the owner of the document.
Okay, I'm good with that. I never thought about that line of code, but since it's coming from him, I don't know that, so just asking. Never run into that before.
But he's still a public employee, so I would
Yeah.
imagine it's still fair
Okay, yeah,
game.
just questioning.
Yeah.
He would be considered the custodian of record because it was addressed to him.
Correct. Any other new business? Do we have any second round public commentary?
No one else signed up, and they've already spoken.
Hi. Hi. Oh, if you want to just tell us your name and.
Okay.
Yeah, come on up, and then face the audience so they can hear. Come on up. These ladies up here always say they have a hard time hearing, so
All
there you
right.
go. Okay.
I'll try and be loud enough.
All righty.
My name is Tanya Chevron, and I live in the township. I've lived here for about 15 years. I usually am watching grandkids, so I'm unable to come to the meetings. But I watched the last meeting, and I was specifically concerned because we have a lot of, I guess the nicest word is drama going on with people being under investigation, whether you deserve an outside agency, an inside agency. So we have the firefighter situation, which is under investigation by an outside, the county investigator, because the township is at risk, according to the attorney at the last meeting. This courtesy was granted to the man, and allow me to also say this. This isn't an indictment of specific people. It is just a comment by a citizen that is looking at this going, this is insanity, and I'll continue. It was a courtesy that was granted to him, but he has not made himself available to be served with paperwork, and he further delayed an investigation. He had to be served at a public meeting. We have an accusation of misconduct that's been made by an employee in the road department against Trustee Havens. It was read in the meeting of the township trustees on July 8th, and upon reading these accusations, Trustee Havens immediately excused herself from any further discussions or decisions regarding the accusations, any involvement in the road department operations, contact with the road department employees, the garage and facility areas of the road department, and has no further reason to come in contact with her accuser or those working within the department while under investigation, which seems very appropriate to me. She has other duties that she attends to that do not involve the road department that she can carry out, so she's remained an active trustee, working and getting whatever financial remuneration that she should be getting. We have a firefighter that is getting paid but making himself not available. And honestly, I could be looking at him and I don't know him.
This is not a personal attack, it is just an observation. This accusation was read and given to trustees Havens and Lindbergh immediately before the meeting. This accusation was in the hands of one of the other trustees, Trustee Dean, I believe. And he found it, picked it up at the mail. I guess that's regular procedure, but he didn't tell the other trustees of these accusations, despite the seriousness of them. It's against the township trustee. Mr. Dean made time for the calls regarding the accusations, but he did not even notify Trustee Laura Lindbergh. He acted in secret to find an investigator. At the meeting on July 8th, a decision was discussed and jointly made by Trustees Lindbergh and Dean to meet on July 22nd to decide on the next course of action. The choices for action were an outside investigator or an in-county investigator. And before the meeting, Trustee Dean acted and specifically called and invited and gave information to and request that an in-county agency from the Portage County Sheriff's Office, who by their own admission don't do this type of investigating regularly, began to investigate Trustee Havens. The Portage County Prosecutor's Office and an independent attorney from outside the county recommended that Trustee Havens have an independent investigator from outside the county investigate the charges against her. This was denied, even though Trustee Lindbergh requested this outside investigation. As a woman, I have to wonder if the reason that Trustee Lindbergh's voice isn't heard as loud as Trustee Dean's voice is because she is a woman. Our women's voice is not important in Deerfield. As a resident of Deerfield, I'm concerned about why we act without. Okay.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you. I didn't mean to cut you off, but it's...
No, that I know.
Can I respond to that since I was directly questioned? I was at the post office picking up the fire chief's mail. Back out to the vehicle, the postmaster come out and said, hey, I've got a registered letter addressed to the trustees. Can you sign for it? Yep. Went back in, signed for it, got it. That was on Friday afternoon. I got that letter, I immediately opened and read it. There was an open text going on between the three of us that you put out there. I put a text on there, at you guys' convenience, please give me a call. There's something I need to let you know about. That was that letter. I did not get a phone call, a text, email from either one of you. I came down to the town hall, I made a copy of that. I put it in a sealed envelope, I put it in your mailbox in the office, I put it in your mailbox in the office so that you would know about it prior to. Within minutes, I had that done. I did not hide anything. Within minutes, I put that text out there. I have to talk to you about something. I didn't want to put that in a text or an email, what I just picked up. Yep, that did happen, but I did make an effort to let both of them know. I did make phone calls to the prosecutor. This was on a Friday afternoon. We got a meeting Monday. I don't want to come up here and be totally unprepared of what we're going to do. We're all going to sit there for, now what are we going to do? I did get guidance from the prosecutor on how to move forward with that. The prosecutor did say a retired police chief, a retired detective, anybody qualified to do that investigation. He said, actually, trustees can do that investigation, but in this situation, we don't do it. We hire somebody. I did contact the Portage County Sheriff Department to see if they would do an investigation like that. All prior to the meeting Monday, only so that I could be prepared. I didn't want to come up here and not be prepared. Sheriff Department said, yes, we can and will do an investigation like that. We agreed to it. Laura and I did agree to it at the meeting. That was turned over to the Sheriff Department, which I think that the Sheriff Department is going to be totally unbiased and 100% dig into this situation and get all the facts about it. I don't understand why we need to hire someone out of the county for something like that. We did hire someone out of the county for the accusation against the fire member. We were told 2 weeks, maybe a month. We're 10 months into it, $15,000 into it, and we're still not done with it. The sheriff department's gonna do the investigation through its detective bureau, no charge to the township. The findings will be turned over to the Portage County prosecutor, and what they do with them, I don't know. So that's where that's at in that situation. I made no attempt to hide anything. I made every attempt to let them know, here's what I have. You guys need to know about it. I didn't get a phone call, text, or email. But I did make a copy, I did put it in each of your mailboxes, and you guys did pick them up Monday before the meeting. So, if there's any other questions, that was my involvement in it.
Any other public commentary?
Dan?
Or will the board entertain a question from the live chat for the stream? That's not my question.
I couldn't hear.
Can you tell us
A live
what's
stream
wrong?
question.
Yeah, I got a meeting, all right?
They're not in the room, they're on the computer, wanna ask a question. He's live streaming.
We've never done that, I don't think we should do that. We're not
You're not allowed to have-
we're not live streaming up here, so, I mean,
You're not allowed to have.
I'll gladly answer your question, but I don't think legally we can do
No,
that.
because you're not allowed to have meetings.
No.
No.
They either have to be public or
Yes.
online, if I
But
remember
Dan, you
correctly.
can comment for 3 minutes if you want to speak.
Yeah, I have no problem answering questions, but going that route, I don't know.
Okay, I'd ask because if, you know, if we allow it once.
Then you gotta allow it, yes.
It becomes
Yes.
something, that's why I asked the question.
Yes.
All right, so, this Felicia Church is the name. Now, this is YouTube, so real name, fake name, I don't know. She has concerns about the sidewalks on 224 by the racetrack. So that there's a house there specifically, that there's so much trash and scrap, it's flowing out of their yard into.
I'm gonna say that person would need to come to a meeting, as opposed to us addressing it like that. We're in a totally different subject. We were already in buildings and grounds and stuff, and now we're.
Or she'd like to send a letter?
Send a letter would be fine.
I'm sure they want.
I just think we don't want to start doing that. We're gonna be open for all kinds of legalities, I'm afraid.
We're gonna go back to the ODOT thing. Is putting up overhead lights something we want to consider?
We have all those light
We
posts all
have
the way around.
8.
I mean, I'm guessing they're considering our decorative lights on the circle decorative. Our street light type things, that must be decorative to them.
Okay.
It's pretty bright at nighttime.
Yes.
I mean,
It is very.
But that was their complaint, I mean, their
yeah,
suggestion.
I heard that too, and I'm thinking, it looks like an
It looks like
airport.
Fort Knox at night when all the lights are working,
It is,
the
right.
gazebo's lit up, it looks like Fort Knox.
The light bulbs that we have in our lamps, are they fluorescent or they're not LEDs?
They are not
correct?
LEDs, they want either $1,800 or $2,000 to replace those bulbs with
I
LEDs.
just don't see that making a
If they can
difference.
redo it, on the light posts,
On the existing.
On the existing light
lamp-
posts.
lamps.
Right now, Ohio Edison doesn't have any street lights per se in that area, do they? I know my neighbor across the road years ago had trouble with people stealing stuff. And Edison come out and put a light on the pole at the road that shines into his yard. I don't know if that's something they were talking about, or if they just want us to put in street lights.
I want rumble strips, so it shakes people awake and they'll open their eyes.
Yeah, people.
Somebody on the building next door.
Yeah. She said that they would entertain if we wanted to purchase the LED flashing lights, but they don't want to pay for it.
Oh, of course they don't.
They said, well, would you like to purchase?
You can't use flashing lights because of
Well,
epilepsy.
they shouldn't be driving anyway, right?
You can't use them, kind of the epilepsy.
Right.
You get that flashing stroke, you will.
I see them, I've driven through towns and I see them, but they're in municipalities. So we know the city bought them, but I see them in different areas. I mean, they're out there.
I just don't believe that they're not adequate. Along with their numbers.
Yes.
Do you think that because they're going to spend the money to get bigger stop signs, that maybe we can maybe rebuttal with a compromise and say, hey, whatever you're gonna spend on those bigger stop signs, can we put in the difference and get the LED ones?
Well, we could insurance for that, but their study, see, you're dealing with the,
Yes.
you're dealing with the
That's,
state. And they said, we did the study, and you literally have to qualify
Yes.
to get this stuff.
ODOT.
ODOT.
But what if we
Every
could
sign you
test
see-
their records? Because like, their numbers don't sound right.
Well, we would have to get the proof of the accidents.
Oh, right now, you go around the circle.
Stoplights, stop signs in Sebring at the square.
Oh, I know, I've seen them.
Those were marvelous. I mean, it's a dirt road, we're in a similar situation. It is
Yes.
a four-way stop. You got buildings on this side, it's hard to see, you have to pull up, but they work, in my opinion, they work well.
I suggested that as well, and they're saying, fine, basically the township.
I would like to see
You know,
flashing
the
lights myself,
township can pay for them, they don't pay for them. They just want to put larger traditional stop signs.
I wonder how much they cost. I haven't looked into it, but I wonder how much those stop signs would cost.
Maybe we can negotiate with them.
That's what I'm saying, maybe we could negotiate.
And are they solar?
Some are, yes.
Because then there's
And-
electricity.
It's not a bad idea, we could look into it and see. I mean, it doesn't hurt to try.
I mean, I'd like to see flashing LED stop.
I
stop
agree. I wouldn't mind
signs.
seeing
I mean,
them up
I would
there.
love to see them. And I thought after and she did say a lot of residents complained. She got a lot of phone calls, emails, they would fill out the forms. And I would ask all of you, continue to do it.
Continue. And then tell them
Continue to do it, yeah.
How we don't like their decision.
Yeah, you can put that. You can go right on the ODOT and there's a drop-down form that you can fill out and you can say, hey, you know, the letter was read at the trustee meeting, we disagree. We feel you need to have that. So,
Every sign on the circle that you see up there right now has a pink mark on it with a pink ribbon. Those are all getting replaced with new signs.
Yes.
They're increasing the signs on every one of them. And supposedly, they're gonna have some type of reflective tape that will help with what's happening up there.
The signs themselves are supposed to be very high visibility.
Right.
From headlights and everything, which these are worn out. They're not that visible with the bright coming back at you.
Here's how ODOT works. 30, 40 years ago, we had this reduced out here to 35 miles an hour. You know what it is right now in the circle? It's 55.
Yep.
So that's the way ODOT works, they do what they want.
well, then I would suggest everybody
And no
call
matter
and
what
complain
you do,
about the
they
speed
ain't gonna listen
limit.
to you.
But speaking of the pink spots on the signs, all the way to 225, there's pink dots on all the signs on roads.
Maybe they're gonna be replaced.
Yeah, that's part, this is the area they're gonna replace all the signs with the up-to-date, high visibility signs. This is the area they're doing.
Every one of them.
Maybe we can put it on the billboard. Don't think it's safe? Please call, blah, blah, blah.
There you go.
We can do that.
You mean on our ticker? Oh, yeah, with ODOT's 800 number.
The lady that you deal with.
Rebecca.
Yeah.
Yeah, last time she.
Maybe
emailed
they'll
me,
run
she
out there
told
and
me
do it
I
so we'll
have
leave
once
them
a
alone.
day if she's tired of hearing from us. but
They
no
do
problem.
do a lot of things for us. We want to be careful not to alienate them 100%.
Huh?
They just saved us $1,000 cutting up that tree up there.
Be very cordial when you contact them.
No, nice request.
Yes, nice
Not
request,
mean,
be very nice.
Well, like I say, good thing we got TJ, he finally cleaned it up that they maintained.
That's why I want rumble strips, so then it would shake them awake. So Nancy just said nothing helps if they're drugs, so I want to like shake them awake. So, well, any other commentary today?
Just one, just a plug for the Civic Association and the upcoming Apple Butter Festival. It's getting close. If anybody wants to volunteer or needs any information on it, please let us know. Help, help, help.
Give them the date again, Denise.
What's that?
Give the date out, the date.
The date for the Apple Butter Festival this year is October 21st.
September
September 21st.
And
See, you shouldn't ask me this
and
question.
Peel is September 20th.
Right, what they said.
The appeal will happen here at the town hall on September 20th. The festival will happen September 21st at the park and up here, wherever we can get everything set up. Volunteers greatly appreciated, needed. It'd be a great thing to help out the community doing that.
And do we need a second meeting this month? Yes, because we do have a.
Yeah, you do.
We
because
have
you
a
it scheduled.
I know, it's, I'm reading the question to myself, it's in my notes.
We have one other, we had a hand up.
Oh,
Go ahead. What time for peeling apples?
They start peeling at 7 in the morning.
Cleaning the apples usually around 8:30, but the guys, a lot of them, the guys and the girls come up and they put up the peeling, and you have to use the machine, and then you clean them, and then we sit at the table and clean. So usually that's about 8:30.
Bring your own.
Right, Kay?
Bring a paring knife.
And bring paring knives?
Yep, bring the paring knives.
so, you know, in January, we did decide to have a second meeting of the month if it's necessary. We do have another meeting that we need to have this month on the 22nd, I believe. Is that the fourth one?
26th.
26th, thank you. So the 26th at 6 p.m. Will be our next meeting. All right, so I will make a motion that we adjourn the meeting and pay our bills.
Second.
Yes?
Laura?
Yes.
Yes?
Tiffany?